Welcome to Quinte Songwriters as the table turned on our host here, Peter Smits. Guest hosting, I'm Lindsey Harren. Thanks for joining us on Yourtv as we're going to look into a deep dive as Peter Smits as an artist under the boy Dutch Boy Pete. But first, let's go to one of his songs. Here's Pick It Up on Yourtv.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Put it in a pocket, put it in a shoe, stick it in your hair, it's up to you. Shove it in the corner, stick it on a shelf, squeeze it in a ball, then give it to an elf. Then chop it with your hand. On a jet, then down in a valley, over the ocean to the back of an alley. Shake it real hard now just for fun. Scratch your head, wave a hand when done.
Pick It Up from Dutch Boy Pete there. Peter Smits, tables have turned on you. What has it been like kind of looking back at your music in this context of things?
Oh, it's really good. It's a lot of fun. And it's good to produce and write music, but if you don't have an audience, it's not all that great. So it's really cool to make sure your songs are getting out there. Whether you get good reviews or not, it's that's the reason you're writing it, I guess, not just for yourself.
Where did music start for you and songwriting?
It all started, my dad was a piano player, and not a professional one. He started being a professional, but it just didn't quite work out. But he was resigned to being a fairly competent one. Got us all started on piano lessons when I was about 8 or 9, somewhere in there. And then music lessons, other music lessons throughout the years. And then when the Beatles hit, Ed Sullivan, we all had to get a guitar. But mine was a little different. When I went to get the guitar, I got a bass guitar instead. I didn't get the just the guitar. I wanted to be a little different, of course, and played in all the high school bands throughout the years, and had a real good interest. Now, I just wanted to make music my life, and so I went to college and majored in music. And after that, right on the road. I toured for years until I figured out my priorities. It's like you can't really raise a family on the road or anything like that. So I'd had enough of hotel rooms and going into the same town over and over again. So I just did the weekend thing. And as far as writing went, I think that every musician is somehow a writer. And writing music is only as good as how much you can capture and repeat it, because the music I play in my head is incredible sometimes. But how do you get it out? So back in the 90s, for instance, everybody had these little cassette Porta studios, that sort of thing. But it was a real challenge to try and get anything good out of them. So it wasn't really until the computer programs came out, and digital audio workstations, in other words, and they were affordable, and you could lay down a track and listen to it, and then, oh, now I'm going to do another track, and it really worked out, and that became really exciting for me. And I said, well, now I can get the music that's playing in my head down in digital anyway, and make some pretty good stuff.
What's the story behind your moniker, Dutch Boy Pete? When did that start?
Yeah, so I just started out as Peter Smits, and I had a couple of songs, and I posted them and said, well, I'd ask my friends, did you hear it? Did you hear it? It's like, I can't find it. It's like, so I'd look, and I couldn't find them either. So I got reading about things, and it's like, you kind of need a very definitive one-off name. So I kind of played around with some letters and so on. It's like, well, I'm Dutch heritage. I'm actually a man, but I think like a boy half the time, and my name's Pete. So I kind of came up with that, and I threw it into Google, and it's like it comes up first every time. So then I can put all my links in there. So, you know, wasn't trying to be like some old blues guys, what they always have those monikers, right? But that's the story behind it, and it seems to work. So
a song like Pick It Up we just had on, you mentioned the bassist was your first instrument. How many other musicians do you have playing on recordings? Is it you just kind of jumping around between each instrument?
Well, it's actually, I'll give it away that I actually buy some drum tracks. There's different sites you can, you know, I need something in 138 beats per minute kind of thing, and you can go to various companies and say, what have you got for me, and look through their stock not footage, but stock beats and so on. They're real drummers, so I like that fact. It's not computerized, and so you got to buy them. They're not much, but that's the only thing that I don't have in my arsenal. I don't have a drum kit in my little studio. But the rest is all me. It's all keyboards to whatever, synthesizers so it's all me. But way back when I was showing my parents, it was like, well, who's playing the guitar on that if you're playing bass? And it's like, well, anyway, so to explain it all, I created a virtual band, and this next song will illustrate. I went to them, I said, here's my band. So if we could play Funky Nation, I'll show you.
And here we go on Yourtv.
Raise your hands and kick the sky. Pretty soon you'll find out why. We're gathered here to raise some hell. Can we win? Well, time will tell. Shake your hips till they reach your limits. Bend your knees and make them pivot. Move your fingers like the fan of flames. Get your partner to do the same.
Funky Nation. Funky Nation.
Funky Nation. Funky Nation. Funky Nation. Funky Nation. Funky Nation. Slap your hands and make some noise, all you girls and all you boys. Shout out loud and make a cheer. Make it louder, I still can't hear. Spin around till we look like fools. Doesn't really matter, there are no rules. Never mind your globalization, we're gonna live in Funky Nation. 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 Funky Nation.
The host of our show is featured as the guest artist so far with that. That was the Dutch boy Pete with Funky Nation on 91X. Peter, kind of walk me through how you do the music video for that, because it was really cool to see those Mattel dolls as well.
Yeah, that's a stop frame animation, and it was my first attempt at it. And it's great if you got about a year to kill, because it is very, very repetitious and time consuming. Especially with dolls, they sometimes misbehave, and if they fall over, you might have to do that sequence of shots. I eventually just stapled their feet to a wooden board, so it's just kind of mean, but yeah, it was. I had to make those little props and so on, but super fun. I recommend anybody to try stop frame motion for at least one little clip. Lots of fun.
With the two songs we've had, Pick It Up and Funky Nation, how do you approach songwriting right now, and what's kind of your genre?
The genre really, I like to stick in, I would call it alternative rock. And so I don't really want to follow the typical blues pattern of 1-4-5. Alternative rock, I find, is that it's open. The field is open. You can break the rules, but using the same kind of instruments other rock bands would have. But that's not all I do. I sometimes play country. My background was in country. This next song is a country song I wrote.
Let's go to Hey Rider on Yourtv.
There's no time for having fun. Rain, it's a coming, gotta get her done. Up and down the roads we go with 3 more fields to go. Reaping our hay from the seeds we've sown. We'll keep on building till the cows come home. Sweat is pure, the feeling's good. We'll be sleeping good tonight. Think about selling every once in a while, but a factory job just ain't my style. And I'm not fit for living in a city, doesn't make sense to me. 'Cause I like working in the country air, where the living's clean and the worries rare. People gotta try to understand, we got a world to feed.
always do come through. When you're busy with your harvest, we're all basking in the sun. We all appreciate the work you've done.
That was Hayride from Dutch Boy Pete, the host of the show regularly on Quinte Songwriters. Peter, kind of walk me through where your music is going these days. What's been inspiring you?
I want to keep going with what I'm doing, but I also want to get into more producing and more film. My ideal job, I always thought, was scoring. So people submit a film to me, and I could create the moods for it, whether it be dramatic or a documentary. I always thought that would be really good. So far, I've done none, but I'm working on it. So rather than just continue with writing these kind of songs, it would be kind of nice to get in do a little more depth into scoring for film and making those sort of an extended video.
We keep on falling through the cracks. Our wheels don't line up with the tracks. We are the circles among squares. We have our tears when no one cares.
We are the color that was drawn outside the lines. The shadow people, out of sight and out of mind. Just give us room enough to breathe. Always walking backwards, so we can never leave.
I wanna sit here in the dark. I have no need to make my mark. I am the rain inside your heart, and I'm the pain when we're apart.
We are the color that was drawn outside the line. The shadow people, out of sight and out of mind. Just give us room enough to breathe. Always walking backwards, we can never leave.
Dutch Boy Pete, The Color Outside the Lines on Yourtv. Well, Peter, as we wrap up this special episode of Quinte Songwriters, where do you think the broader Quinte music scene is going? I know Kingston's really benefited from some big tourism dollars and a formal kind of tourism department really helping the music scene over there.
Mm-hmm. I'm really happy to see that like the music scene has changed. We're no longer depending on bars to play in. That circuit is not as big as it used to be. it still exists. But what I'm seeing is open mics exploding, and everybody's taking a shot at it. And the amount of money that you get now for loading and unloading and playing 4 sets is dismal. And I understand the bar owners, that sort of thing. They just don't have the headroom. They just can't pay the bands that much. So people are doing it more out of enjoyment. But it's so much fun to play these open jams and open mics. And I'm seeing it growing and growing. Almost every establishment around has one night a week dedicated to open mics. So it really getting people out of the woodwork. So.
Do you think there's a genre in the Quinte region that's maybe more prominent or the strongest? I know over towards Kingston it seems to be kind of rock. Over towards Peterborough, I mean, they got a really great country contingent of musicians. So do we have kind of a sound for Belleville, I guess, now?
I'm seeing the blues people pretty big, but also the country people. There's a lot of country artists, and I still think that's strong for the area. There's blues jams around, and lots of bands that are still based on the old Chicago blues kind of thing, which is great. It's good to see. There's a pretty good variety. Maybe rock, not so much. So, the sort of the 70s rock that we're used to going to bars and these are the same kind of songs that I heard when I was a young guy.
As we wrap up Quinte Songwriters, Peter, for younger musicians wanting to kind of pick your brain, get in touch, maybe do this show, how do they reach out?
We will put up a posting probably in September or so, and I'll accept applications at that point, or people can stop me on the street and say, hey, I'm really interested. But we'll put the posting out on a lot of the Facebook groups, music groups that they're around, and it'll have a little bit of criteria what you should probably include with your application. So it's happening though. Hopefully we'll get season 2.
Yeah, under your moniker Dutch Boy Pete, are you going to be doing any live performances around town here?
No, the only thing I do live now is the jams. I go and do as many as I can. Like I said, I'm not in it for the money anymore. I'm in it because I love playing my bass.
Well, let's go out with one last song from Peter Smits, once again the host of Quinte Songwriters. Peter, so great to have the tables turn on you and learn more about your own personal story. So here it is, Dutch Boy Pete in the Middle on Yourtv. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Gotta feel a little pain before there's pleasure. Gotta have some sorrow to know what joy is. You got to balance your life. You got to balance your life. In the middle. In the middle, in the middle, in the middle. in the middle. In the middle, in the middle. I'm usually happy, I'm seldom sad. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes a little bad. We have a day that turns to night. We live inside a balance, and it makes it feel alright. In the middle, in the middle, in the middle, in the middle.
In the middle from Dutch Boy Pete there, and that wraps up another edition of Quinte Songwriters with your host, Peter Smits. That was his feature today. Thanks so much for joining us. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Quinte Songwriters right here on Yourtv.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Fly it on a jet, then down in a valley, over the ocean to the back of an alley. Shake it real hard now just for fun. Scratch your head, wave a